Travel for too long and highway hypnosis can stretch the hours out to infinity. That's when you know it's time for a break, a diversion, some frivolous fun. Now, we didn't want to run off on another story, but this pinball machine got us thinking.
Back to the Future. Wonder whatever happened to the old DeLoreans.
Oh, let me show you.
Oh, really?
Well, here we are, Bob. We have a 1981 DeLorean that's brand new, never been titled, ready to go.
What is it about the DeLorean that makes people just go, wow, look at that?
Well, many things. Obviously, the design of the car, you look at the car and it's still a very good looking car when you think it was designed 25 plus years ago. The gull wing doors, which is very unique about the car, and then also the stainless steel finish. And there isn't a sports car that quite looks like this, so I think as a design piece, it's always going to stand out.
British mechanic Steve Wynn makes a living fixing DeLoreans. An impressive feat considering the DeLorean Motor Company closed in 1982. Still, the original group of 9,000 cars can't last forever, and Steve knew he had to ensure his repair shop's survival. In a plot straight from the silver screen, Steve went more than 25 years into the past and brought a car company back to the future.
I've been in the DeLorean business since 1982, basically servicing and repairing the cars. We were able to acquire all of the remaining inventory of parts, which is what you see that we have in this building. We decided to announce last year that we're going to make some new cars, and the interest has been tremendous.
Welcome to the new DeLorean Motor Company, based right here in Humble, Texas. Using the original parts, plans, drawings, and drive shafts, they are hand-assembling brand new DeLoreans at the breakneck pace of 7 weeks per car. Sure, they'll never compete with Ford or GM at that rate, but Steve is determined not to repeat the mistakes of John DeLorean.
He had his flaws, which were, he came from big car company mentality. So, it was his drive and enthusiasm that got DeLorean going, but it was his drive and enthusiasm that took it down. The business plan called for them to make 20,000 cars a year. That's part of the reason why they didn't make it, because their plans were so grand, but that was the deal. He wanted to compete direct with the Corvette and make the DeLorean America's sports car.
For many classic car lovers, the Corvette is king. The DeLorean, however, has its own iconic place in pop culture, not as a sports car, but as Doc Brown's time machine in Back to the Future. Corvettes may have horsepower, but Doc's DeLorean had more power.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Back to the Future, 3 movies, very popular trilogy. Somewhere in the world right now, or probably multiple locations, there is a rerun of Back to the Future playing. And where could we get better brand awareness from that going on, globally or continuously, and there's no end to it. It's non-stop.
Oh, wow. I have to tell you, Steve, I'm disappointed.
Okay.
Well, it's still 2008.
We're working on that feature.
Aside from the free advertising and occasional time travel joke, the Back to the Future trilogy may have had one other effect on the DeLorean. It seems young or old, rich or poor, most DeLorean owners are less Marty McFly and more Doc Brown. No flux capacitor.
And I don't want it to sound derogatory by saying geek, but the geeks are the people who are more interested in DeLoreans. And generally, their interest in cars is more not horsepower, it's just the cool factor, which is where the DeLorean fits the bill better.
If you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Car enthusiasts are car enthusiasts. They all have their, their love of their cars, and I don't see any difference there whatsoever. You see the glow of these people when they come in to pick up the car, and that's just car guys,
There are people who they say who are just nuts about this car, and they look at it and they just love it instantly. Yeah. Are you one of those people?
I'm nuts about cars, period. You know, I'm just a car guy. I love all cars, and to be able to do what I do, this is the excellent vehicle for me to do it. You know, to actually own a car company, to produce cars, to service cars, to get to do all of that. That's the only way. You know, I'm the ultimate car guy, I suppose. You know, that's what people tell me.
Steve never thought his future would be manufacturing DeLoreans. After all, how can a mechanic succeed when a visionary like John DeLorean could not? Honestly, Steve says he's not even in the driver's seat. This car guy is just along for the ride and having the time of his life.
Each step and each time we've expanded, it's not me going out saying, I want to do this. It's the car and the business is going in a direction. I see the direction and I follow it. All what's happened is what I'd love to have happened, but I haven't forced it. It's just happened naturally. You know, it's like a living thing, you know, which is freaky. It's very exciting, it really is. You know, how I got to this point, I do not know. But we're there and we're doing it, and the crew that we've got around us are very passionate about what they're doing. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a wonderful trip to be on.